I think what happened after Katrina, and it really started before Katrina, was reimagining what public education could be here. And we went from a school system to a system of schools, where we really began to decentralize decision-making down to the school level and gave more autonomy to individual schools as well as accountability. We used the vehicle of the charter mechanism to do this, and that seems to have been a successful model. You can have autonomy without having charter schools, but I think charter schools gave it structure that it needed.
There were so many people locally doing so much work getting schools back up and running. There were veteran educators who found by any means necessary a way to get their schools open.
A lot of the faces that I see in leading schools are in fact Black educators from New Orleans who were doing this work before and are still doing this.
Probably for me the most exciting thing has been the academic gains. Before Katrina, more than 60% of our schools were failing and about 2 out of 3 students attended a failing school, and our definition of failing was very low. These were schools that were not serving kids. Today, only around 5% of kids are in failing schools.
The people who are closest to the kids, the most talented, innovative, creative people, most of them lifelong New Orleanians, should be given permission, should have license to make change in the lives of the kids who grew up here.
The model isn't one that everybody likes. There's some still consternation about governance and moving forward, but I think that we've demonstrated that if we really think about kids, that any kid can learn.
When we heard that there were issues around expulsion policies and kids being expelled at a high rate, we immediately went into action and were able to put in constructs that allowed us to have a common hearing office around expulsions. And so there are a number of policy issues that are brought to our attention that as a decentralized system of schools, we're able to adjust to those much more nimbly than we were before the storm.
We as a community and as a city and as a state are holding schools accountable in a different way for their results and for our service to students. And so from a very factual, concrete perspective, we're not just saying and defining what school failure is, we're actually not tolerating it.
We love it. We know we're accountable, and that's good. But we're able to get from A to Z in our own way, and that's truly, truly exciting for us.
We've seen billions of dollars of infrastructure improvements in the post-Katrina environment, and I don't think New Orleans would have ever seen that, nor do I believe New Orleans will ever see it again.
We have schools in our district right now that I truly know that the #1 priority is children. That we're educating children to higher levels, we're getting students to graduate from high school on time.
What people need to understand is that this is a work in progress. We are still trying to figure out the best way to meet the needs of all of our students. And what I'd like for people to know is that all people, regardless of how they fall on the reform system, I think all people are committed to doing the right thing for kids and trying to figure out how we can continue to improve.
I think you will see us going from what we would call a recovery mode or into a, more of a strategic planning mode.
Public schools really, when they succeed, is when we have this notion of we're in this together. But New Orleans is not together in that regard. We still have this private sort of public divide that is bigger. I mean, it is bigger than this charter, anti-charter divide, but yet we keep pounding this notion that are we improving, are we not improving? We're hypercritical of everything that's going on, and we just don't put enough attention on breaking the mindset that public schools are a good that we should enjoy.
Now we need to solidify all the good things that we've done, all the gains that we've done, and make it better, because we can be a top-notch city.
The dream would be that New Orleans becomes the first city in the country where every kid goes to a great school. And at the trajectory we're on right now, that's a real possibility.
I have a vision that simply can be wrapped around one theme, and that's unification of our school system.